Next one up is José Luis Leyva, Global VP of Communications, Diversity and Inclusion at Grupo Bimbo, one of the world's largest bakery companies headquartered in Mexico. With a journalism background, José Luis is passionate about digital media and international politics, and he is a driving force behind Grupo Bimbo's reputation-building efforts. He's here with us today to share some of his secrets on building a solid brand reputation around sustainability while maximizing company performance. Welcome, José Luis.
Hello everyone, I'm José Luis Leyva. I'm the head of communications and diversity and inclusion in Grupo Bimbo. I'm here in Mexico City, based from my living room. I'm thrilled to be here in this Engage 2020 organized by our friends from Socialbakers. So thank you so much, Damaris and Cesar, for this invitation. And thank you for being here. I hope that you and your families are healthy, staying safe, and in relatively good spirits during these crazy times. Today, I will be sharing with you in less than 10 minutes a very brief overview on how we at Grupo Bimbo are tackling the challenge of protecting and enhancing our corporate reputation through communications, and obviously I will be focusing on social media. As you may know, Grupo Bimbo is the most important and largest baking company worldwide. We have operations in 34 countries. And we have particularly a strong presence in North America with some beloved brands that you may know, might be familiar with, such as Artesano, Orowit, or Takis. So on top of briefly sharing with you how we conceive reputation, corporate reputation in Grupo Bimbo, I will touch on how we have been using social media in order to position ourselves as a purpose-driven company in the last year, I would say. And finally, the last two slides that I will be sharing with you will be focusing on some interesting data on our performance. This data, of course, has been provided by Socialbakers. So what is corporate reputation and why is it so important for us? For us, what is not a corporate reputation is what marketing campaigns say. It's not what we want the audience to think about our company. On the contrary, I would say that reputation is guided in large part by what we do. And although it's built outside the companies, is mostly, most of the times, start from within the companies. What we can do as companies is to take action in order to guide people towards a positive perception of us. And one of the most widely known myths is that reputation can be improved by simply donating money to a foundation or a cause. And of course, this is also false. Reputation goes way deeper than that. The audiences, especially the younger ones, can easily identify when an action is genuine and when it's just a PR stunt. Reputation is built based on everything we do, not just one single action, and is also how we relate to our internal and external stakeholders. Reputation for us at Grupo Bimbo is trust, is what we do, is how we do it, and who we do it for. And also, and this is important for this panel, is how we communicate it, is how we relate to our purpose as a company and how we successfully convey this purpose to our different stakeholders in order to create a relationship of trust with them. Traditionally, it was believed that the value of a good reputation was only realized in a crisis when the company's credibility is called into question. And of course, this is something very valuable, something very relevant, but also there are all other assets, and I would say very real present value assets for reputation, for corporate reputation. On one hand, focusing on consumers, a good reputation makes your advertising more memorable and credible. Also, consumers desire to buy your products or services more. And regarding key opinion leaders, I would say that a good corporate reputation can give you a seat at the table when decisions are being made about you or about some regulation that might impact you or your business. The graphs that you can see on the right side of this slide are showing the results of surveys in more than 100 companies in 26 different countries. This survey was carried out by Ipsos last year, and companies were divided into 4 reputation tiers: ad recall and credibility increases. You can see it in the right side, upper right side of your screen, as reputation improves, and purchase intention also, and disposition to pay more for your product and services also is higher among the top reputation tier companies. For me, these slides are very relevant because I was mentioning you before, a good reputation in your company does not only have an importance or is relevant when you face a crisis, but also is important for the business. Now, managing perceptions wouldn't be as effective without the support of digital communications and the power of social media. Socialbakers, our friends from Socialbakers, recently released a study which confirms that communicating corporate topics and the news of your company on social media is very important to build brand perception, since it generates a response from users who sometimes most of the times I would say interact with the content, and other times give their opinions and their feedback about the brand and the company. The study that I'm sure is available to all of you analyzed the importance of communicating about sustainability on social media and how it can help improve brand perception. It also provides a very interesting list and rich list, I would say, of best practices on how to communicate sustainability initiatives on social media, mainly on Facebook and Twitter. In other words, this study focuses on how digital communications contribute to managing partially our reputation as a company. This index, which I think is spot on, focuses also on the analysis of the dimensions of different initiatives that companies usually take on and communicate, which are environment, social conscience, corporate ethics, and donations. These are categorized into 4 C's, is how they call it. They call it care, conscience, campaigns, and charity. Which are some of the most interesting and relevant findings for me in this first Socialbakers sustainability study. I would like to highlight 2. In the first place, topics around sustainability help increase the positive perception of a company and reduce negative conversation up to 36%. And number 2, and this is also very relevant for a company like Grupo Bimbo, communicating corporate topics of a CPG company is also almost 60% positive, while its negative perception is around 23%. And when communications only focus on sustainability, the sentiment is almost 90% positive and only 8% negative. These results are outstanding. Here, focusing on Grupo Bimbo, I'm very proud to share with you these results, focusing on my company. Public perception on the company and on the brand has grown increasingly positive. This is shown in the index you can see in the slide, in which we are mentioned as one of the best practices in all 4 categories. And I would like to highlight some results. Between August of last year, August of 2019, and August of 2020, when talking about sustainability-related topics, not merely corporate ones, negative perception for Grupo Bimbo decreased by 65% and positive perception increased more than 1,000%. 1,000%. So we, in Grupo Bimbo, very happy to share this with you. We are positioned at first place in perception on sustainability-related topics in Mexico, with social media communications related to the actions we have taken to protect the environment, mostly as our compostable and biodegradable packaging and electric vehicles were deployed last year. And also we're recognized for our efforts during the pandemic, focusing on generate awareness around the virus, especially at the beginning of the pandemic, and also in the months that followed, focusing on the donation that we made as a company, mostly focusing on Mexico. I also would like to highlight the fact that we are the #1 company in the ranking of responsibility and governance This is mostly thanks to our diversity and inclusion policies and programs. And finally, I want to share with you that our social campaigns also presented one of the best engagement rates, with an average of over 8,000 interactions per post, and with an amazing positive sentiment of 99%. Finally, moving forward, now we at Grupo Bimbo have a great challenge of protecting the corporate reputation that we have, of being cohesive in our actions, of having strategic communications and the right channels to deliver our messages. And I think it's a big challenge, especially if you take into account the current scenario. It's a complete new world out there, and we need to reinvent of how we communicate our purpose and keep up with the fast pace of the audiences and their expectations that are changing, I would say, even faster than before. Thank you so much. This is all I have. Thank you, Damaris, again. Thank you, Cesar, for all your support. And thank you all for being here listening to the best practice of Grupo Bimbo and social media. Thank you.